powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself.
I will give of myself.
I will reach out my hand.
I will reach out my hand.
I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth.
I will fight for the truth.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I will use this strength I've been given to be a light. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Sometimes I lose my way, I stumble and fall. I fail to see the open door and only see the wall. Sometimes I close my ears when open they should be, but then I stop and listen to that still small voice inside of me. Pitruli, Share Tzedek, Avova, Odeya, Pitruli, Share Tzedek, Avova, Odeya. My life in the work of your hands, and walk in love and freedom to the promised land. And when I lose my way, I pray that I may see that spark inside the darkness and the gates open for me. Pitruli, Share Tzedek, Avovam,
the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu
Can I invite everyone to get to their seats as we get ready? Gemar Chatima Tova. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be sealed for blessing in the book of life. I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis of Congregational Army, and before we officially start, I want to share some important information with you. First of all, be safe. Our agreement in this room is that everybody has their masks over their nose and their mouth. If it stops, if it falls down, you need to pull them back up. And if I see that they're not there, our agreement to have the cantor here, the rabbi there, me, and many of you here is that I will need to stop the service, and I will, and I'll wait. So it must stay over your nose and mouth at all times. Thank you. We are trying to remain healthy during this time, and the Delta variant is especially virulent. And you do not, yes. If you're on the live stream and you're with other people, be safe also, please. Now, if you're in person, the bathrooms are behind the sanctuary space there. So use any side door. If you're in the balconies, any of the side doors up there also. By the way, those are the emergency exits also. Cell phones. This would be a great time to take them out and turn them off. I find that the cell phone that goes off during the service is the one you are 100% sure is already off. So please, take them out and double check now. Except if you're streaming and you're a college student streaming from away from home, or really any of you worshiping via the live stream. In that case, maybe send me a selfie of you with the screen in the background. Hang on a second. There we go. And, email me or Insta me or text me or Facebook me, whatever. I'll be there. Listen, we miss seeing those on the live stream. We miss seeing your punim, your panim, your faces. Those pictures help us feel connected to you as you're standing lifnei Adonai before God with us. And you live streamers, if you have a problem with the live stream, always first go to orami.org, which has links to all the streaming locations. If you're in person and there's an emergency, please speak to any usher who will help you. We also have a doctor on call here in person in case of any emergency needs. If you have regular needs, just wait till you get home. And those of you live streaming from home, if there's an emergency, call 911. Duh. Now, we'll be opening our machzors soon, our high holiday prayer books, and our prayer supplements for those who are at home also. If you don't have them, you can download them at orami.org/HHD. For certain parts of the service, we're going to ask people to rise. It means when we say it in body or in spirit. If it's comfortable and doable, please physically rise. But the Holy One knows what's in your heart. So to stand lifnei Adonai before God is a reality that transcends time and space. So you may pray from whatever position you are in, just direct your heart to the Holy One. But do know this, whenever we say, please rise, know that we always mean in body or in spirit. We want to thank those of you who are here with us in person. Thank you to those who are worshiping via the live stream. Thank you to our amazing production team and medical team who have been reimagining what a multi-access hybrid service situation could look like. And thank you for bringing in a top-level camera and production crew to ensure our live stream is engaging, inspiring, and moving. And thank you to our musicians. They will lift us and our prayers higher and higher, as you will see soon. So remember, on the live stream, all the page numbers will be displayed somewhere down at the bottom of your screen. And for those of you who are in person, up on the live stream screen on the left-hand side in the corner, in a circle, there will be a place for the page number. So everybody, wherever you are, chant along, sing along, pray aloud. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be sealed for a blessing in the book of life. And I'll be right back. Shh. Now it really starts. Good Yontif. I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis, and with Cantor Doug Kotler and Rabbi Julia Weiss and our spouses, we welcome you to Congregation Or Ami's Kol Nidre services on Yom Kippur. Repeat after me. Good Yontif. It means, may it be a good day, a holy day. Now repeat, Gamar Chatima Tova. It means, may you be sealed for a blessing in the book of life. Or if you want to do it in shorthand, say, Gamar Tov. Saying it that way makes you look kind of cool and sound dialed in. As we enter into this holy moment, New Year 5782, Rabbi Alan Cook, my friend, urges us to look at the numbers to find purpose in the new year. According to Gematria, where every letter has a value, Aleph 1, Bet 2, Gimel 3, and so on, we notice the letters of a Hebrew word and notice that this word and that word have the same numerical value. And that might unlock some sort of mystical message. According to Jewish legend, Moses ascended to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. And he spent the daytime writing down all that we would come to know as the Torah, the written Torah. But as nighttime came and the light grew too dim for writing, God imparted to him laws and customs that would make up a body of text that became known as Torah Shebe'al Peh, literally Torah that is in our mouths, or more colloquially, the oral Torah. According to the legend, God taught Moses on the mountain all the Mishnah and the Talmud and the Midrash and all the other works that would expand upon the text of the written Torah and provide all of us direction, practical direction of how to live Jewishly. Through the generations of Judaism, the words of Torah has served as a foundation, but it is the material in the oral Torah that has maintained Jewish practice as it delves into the nuances of meaning and adapts and innovates to ensure Judaism is living and vibrant and continues to drive us and guide us toward essential truths. So the oral Torah, known in Hebrew as Torah Shebe'al Peh, it can be abbreviated with 4 Hebrew letters, Tav, Shin, Bet, Peh. Tav, Shin, Bet, Peh. Now catch this. This year's Hebrew year, 5782, is abbreviated with 4 letters. Taf, Shin, wait for it, Peh, Bet. Peh, Bet. Notice that they share the same 4 letters, only that the last 2 are transposed in a different order. Might that mean that this year comes at a moment to highlight the importance of Torah Shebe'al Peh, the oral Torah, or more so, the words that come out of our mouths? You know, I don't have to tell you, we're living in a time when sometimes the tumultuous passions of our hearts and the sometimes little thought-out ideas that pop into people's minds tend to overtake and overwhelm the muscles of their mouths, leading us, them, everyone, to speak before we think, and to think that what we speak is both appropriate and necessary. Too often, our need to be right or be heard leads us to forget derech eretz, common courtesy, chesed, basic kindness, and rachamim, rightful compassion. May the new year 5782 lead us to self-censor enough to create kindness where there is now coarseness, compassion where there is now crudeness, and light where there is now darkness. We now rise in body or in spirit as we join with our clergy spouses, Michelle November, my wife, Gail Petler, Cantor Doug's wife, David Weiss, Rabbi Julia's husband, and our ORME board officers and board of directors as we light the Yom Kippur candles. Shehachianu prayer is most often recited for joyous moments. But in fact, the Talmud, Barachot 58b, teaches that one recites the Shehachianu, the traditional prayer of gratitude, even upon seeing a friend after an extended period of time apart. Like now. It has been 2 years since we gathered here in our high holiday sanctuary. But now we are together, either worshiping here in person or worshiping in your homes or hospital rooms, in backyards, dining rooms, and dorm rooms, with loved ones, or maybe alone. Wherever you are, however you are, Shehachianu. Praise this moment. Praise the Creator of all moments. That we are alive, that we are able to gather, and that we have reached this holy moment. Shehachianu.
Ata Adonai,
Holy One of blessing,
Melech haolam.
your spirit fills creation. You bring us here.
Baruch Ata Adonai,
Holy One of blessing,
Melech haolam.
your spirit fills creation.
You keep us here. Shehecheanu,
You keep us alive,
Kiyamanu,
sustaining our love,
Yigianu, Lazman hazeh.
helping us reach this day.
Shehecheanu,
You keep us alive,
Yigianu,
sustaining our lives.
Kiyamanu, Lazman hazeh.
That's from your wife.
Oh, thank you. That was a kiss from my wife through the rabbi.
Before we continue, we just got to pause for a second. I see a few people who still don't have their masks over their nose and mouth. The agreement is we all wear our masks over not just our noses, but our mouths. Not just our mouths, but our noses. So let's just, everybody adjust. Thank you. On Yom Kippur, during the singing of Kol Nidre, our scrolls are usually held by our leaders and volunteers through the prayer's 3 movements. This serves as a visual reminder that the words of Torah should be a guide for our actions and in the year ahead, lest we are forced to rely upon a legal formula like Kol Nidre to annul our promises to be better in the coming year. But COVID compels us to make some changes to minimize the number of people on the bima, the stage. So we introduce a new ritual. Soon, 4 leaders, our current president, Craig Steinhauer, immediate past president, Leslie Kraut, our Lomti youth group president, Jenny Buccieri, and past president, Fred Gruber, will carry the Torah scrolls in a procession down the aisles towards the bima. When they pass you by, please look, don't touch. We'll return the Torah scrolls to the Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark. There, let them be an or zarua, a light of confidence and strength, La Tzaddik, for each individual, all of us who are trying our best to be righteous. Uli Yishrei Lev Simcha. And let it bring us joy. As we watch our words, as we repair our mistakes, as we heal our world in the brief time we have left in this existence, we rise in body or in spirit.
Or zaru ala tzadik, ule yishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, ule yishrei lev simcha. Tzaddik uleYishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzaddik uleYishrei lev simcha.
Makes it shine when I do right. It becomes mine straight from the heart. Happiness grows where there's a light. Life overflows. Lev simcha, lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzaddik, zaru ala tzaddik. Lev simcha, lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzaddik, zaru ala tzaddik. Lev simcha, lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzaddik, zaru ala tzaddik. A seed. What makes it grow? Where it will lead, there I will go. Straight from the heart, truth never fails. Where there's a light, justice prevails. Or zaru ala tzaddik, u'yishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzaddik, u'yishrei lev simcha.
Straight from the heart.
Or zaru ala tzaddik,
the truth never fails. Esorei Acharame Vekinumei Vechinuyei Vekinusei Ushavot.
800 years ago, Rabbi Meir of Rothenburg transformed his congregation into a legal body on Yom Kippur. So too do we come together on this night as a holy community, transforming our sanctuary into a court for the Jewish soul.
Bishiva shel mala, uvishiva shel mata, al da'at hamakom ve'al da'at hakahal, anu matirin lihitpalel, im ha'arayanim. By the authority of the heavenly court, and by the authority of the earthly court, with the knowledge of the ever-present God and with the knowledge of this congregation, we welcome all to pray with our community and declare it proper to pray with others who have wronged either God or other human beings.
All vows, promises, and commitments we made since last Yom Kippur and in the years before, may we be given strength to keep them. Our marriage vows.
May they endure through dark days and dull days, through fatigue and anger. May our love and trust prove strong enough to last.
Our vows for good health, to exercise, to diet.
May we take our own lives seriously enough to heed them, caring for our bodies in the midst of the pressures of our daily lives.
The promises we make to expand our minds and nourish our spirits.
May we be strong enough to let this year be a year of study and of prayer.
Our commitments to family and to friends, pledges of tzedakah, vows to work for others.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we mean in all seriousness the vows we make to you and to ourselves. But even as we vow, we are conscious of how last time we failed, and the guilt of our failures weighs heavily upon us. We have sinned. We have transgressed. We have acted deceitfully.
Kol Nidre Service Acharame Vekinumei Vechinuyei וכינוסי הושבות דין דרנה ולאחרים נא ולאחרים נא ולהר סרנה מיום כיפורים זה עד יום כיפורים הבוא עלינו לטובה כל הון יכרתנה כל הון יהושרון שוויקין שוויתין מטלין ומבטולין לא שרירין ולא קיימין נדרנה לא נדרה וסרנה לא אסורה ושבוע שנה לא שבועות
Can we talk about God? We got to talk about God. What is God? A reality, a being, an idea, a metaphor? Tonight, we need to talk about God because tonight and tomorrow is all about us, but about God. So listen, if you believe in God, great. If you're not sure, great also. Just stay open to the possibility. Now, if you don't believe in God, don't worry. We Jews don't believe in hell, so you're not going there. Nor does Judaism have a catechism, a defined set of beliefs that you have to hold on to. So you're great also, but try to stay open to the possibility. You know, too often we Jews get stuck when it comes to belief and faith because the Torah seems to present a very one-dimensional view of God. Or more specifically, most of us have never really delved that deeply into Jewish God beliefs. So we're stuck in common misconceptions, like about reward and punishment, that God rewards and God punishes. The good get rewarded and the bad get punished. And that's the only way to see it. Well, I'm here to give you a 2-minute exploration that'll take 3 minutes of God ideas, which I call the God of the hula hoops. Imagine this. I've been working out for a while on this one. This is God, the big hoop, the green hoop. This is existence, or creation, or you and me, or everything we see and can imagine. Now, too many of us are stuck in one kind of idea, that God is up here, and we are down here, because we think God is transcendent, beyond us, beyond our reach. But others conceive of God in a different way. That, yeah, God is here. But we are not here, but here. Or here. God has a separate reality, yes, and we have a separate reality, humans or creation. But we're connected, and we can sense, experience each other's presence. God might be like a parent or a sibling or a friend. Part of our lives, yes, but separate too. And like most parents and friends, God can be wise and helpful and protect us. But sometimes God's wisdom or protection or help, like those of our parents or our friends, is not always felt. Now, one of my favorite God concepts is this. Ready? I'm not tossing them up there. Voila. Philosophers call this, imagine if they're totally overlapping. There we go. Philosophers call this panentheism, that God is everything. The philosopher Baruch Spinoza challenged the Jewish belief hierarchy when he suggested that God is in everything. God is everywhere. And for that wonderful nugget, he got excommunicated for a few hundred years. Of course, the Kabbalists, the mystics, had no problem with that idea because they thought that God was everywhere. God was hamakom, the place, which is every place. God is Ein Sof. There is no place without end. Everywhere, everything, every time is God. God is all there and in here. Now, we also teach that God is a ruler, right? You can't have mine. These are mine. Okay. You can play later. Okay. That God is a ruler. Literally, God is a measuring stick against which we measure ourselves, our behavior, our values. I practiced that. Now, Martin Buber talked about God as relationship. That God was present whenever we are in relationship with each other as equals, with total openness. Now, these days, I also use the metaphor of the internet. You see, God is seemingly everywhere and always available like the internet if we just log on. And then our connection makes us know more things, able to accomplish more, do more good if we choose, Connect to more people. Or how about this? How about God as the electric power grid? Think about it. It's always there. But it does us no good if we feel lost in the darkness, if we don't take time to plug in. But when we're in the dark and we do plug in, voila, we can see the light and find our way forward. So look, these are all metaphors or similes or maybe poetic descriptions of reality. And our Torah talks about God in all these ways and so many more, which you'll discover if you're willing to open your mind and heart and soul. So when I talk about God, or Rabbi Julia does, or Cantor Doug, we're talking about various aspects of all of these. Open yourself to it. We ought to open ourselves to this. Why? Because after all, it's Yom Kippur.
On Yom Kippur, I'll say the prayers in English or in Hebrew. I'm sorry for my trespasses, for what I've done, what I did not do. I may not be religious, it may all be hot air, but if I'm sincere for at least one day of the year, maybe I'll find God there. On Yom Kippur, I'll hold my fast, I'll try to be still and patient. I'm a grain of sand, I'm a blade of grass, I'm a spark in the ark of creation. Oh, let my mind be silent and let me feel something pure and rare. Let my anguish cease, let me make my peace. Maybe I'll find God there. In the house of God, I'm a skeptical guest. Show yourself, give me a sign, flicker the flame, knock over the wine. If you're there, knock once for no, knock twice for yes. On Yom Kippur, my year is done. It's the footer and the header, and the oaths I swore can be annulled. And next year I'll try to do better. And I'm praying for forgiveness for everyone, everywhere. If I can wipe the slate clean and be someone I've not been, maybe I'll find, maybe I'll find, maybe I'll find God here.
Oh, how we so often, so desperately want to find God. Here, there, anywhere. When our lives feel unbalanced, when our world seems unfair, when our dreams seem so cloudy, when we feel unaware, when our future seems uncertain, or our finances are unstable, or our relationships feel unsteady, when we feel just so unable. When our loved ones, they are struggling, when our own heart feels so broken, when our emotions are in turmoil, when there's just too much that has gone unspoken, when everything seems so fraught, when our actions seem for naught, when we feel like we need a God a lot, we can listen. We know what we can do. Cantor Doug has taught us how to get through. We can quiet ourselves. There's nothing to say. We can stop all the chatter that gets in the way. Yes, we can try as best we can to just listen.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter, it gets in the way. And listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you can hear if you listen. Listen to our God. You can hear it from the top
a metaphor, an allegory, an actual experience. You decide. This past summer, in the midst of the turmoil, I realized it was time to finally have that conversation I'd been putting off for so long. With all that was happening recently, my frustration was growing. And if I was ever going to get to a place of forgiveness, I needed to lay all my cards out on the table. I needed to take my friend to task for the chaos that my friend caused. So I made an appointment to sit down to share the struggle that was going on inside my soul. Now, you know, we're taught that God created this world. So it seems to follow that God bears primary responsibility for allowing in illness and hatred, evil and greed. Of course, I wanted to give the Holy Blessed One the benefit of the doubt. So I set out to start slowly, intending to share my sadness. But instead, this just poured out of me. God damn you, God. What's with the raging wildfires and the destructive flooding, the mass shootings and the mindless meanness all around? Why the anti-Semitism against us Jews and the explosive hatred against Asian Americans and immigrants and trans people? Have you no shame allowing the self-proclaimed white supremacists a public stage or for giving climate change free rein? And what about all that loss of life in Afghanistan and the destruction in Haiti yet again? Our Israelite ancestors suffered for 400 generations in Egypt before you deigned to deliver us to freedom. How many more people have to die to motivate your mercy, to get you to finally act on our behalf? What the heck's going on with you, God? You know, it's Yom Kippur, and we are here, God, to confess our sins to you. But this year, I think, Holy One, it's you who ought to be confessing. It's you who should seek forgiveness from us. I expected at a minimum an acknowledgement from God that God's been asleep at the wheel, or better yet, a heartfelt apology. So you would imagine how surprised I was when I got this. Me? God said. Me? You blame me for this blasphemy? You think I planned all this, that I wanted the whole world to explode in hatred, to heat up an already inflamed earth, to expose you to a deadly disease? You think I've been sitting around smirking as my children fall ill? That I planned to utter again those words I said to Moses back on Mount Sinai about how I would destroy my wayward children and begin again with him? I could have. And sometimes I wonder if I should have. Because you humans are so egocentric, unable to see what is and what can be, and to band together to beat it. You think that I, the one who accompanied you through the wilderness in a pillar of fire and a pillar of cloud, would just leave you alone to confront these challenges? As I've told you before, death, all this destruction, all of it is the unintended consequence of granting you humans your precious free will. I might be omniscient, all-knowing, and omnibenevolent, all good. But by agreement and intention, when I gave you the keys to the world, I can no longer be omniscient, all-powerful. I released that power to you humans so that you could get out of the garden and enjoy the fruits of your labors. Yes, this is an imperfect existence, but only because when at creation I poured my divine light into the world I created. The world's derivative nature could not contain the purity of my perfection. Shvira Kelim resulted, the shattering of creation's containers, and what I intended as your place on this planet transformed. Along with free will now came a tremendous responsibility. you must now engage in perpetual tikkun olam, elevating the sparks of brokenness yourselves. You want my confession? It's there in the prayer book. You pray it every Yom Kippur. Who will live and who will die? Who by fire and who by water? That's my confession to the imperfection of this world. That litany of ways to lose people is my way of alerting you that stuff happens. Bad stuff happens. But I have always given you the tools to repair the rips in the reality of life, which you collectively find reason to ignore. Since the very beginning, I've instilled in each of you the insight and understanding of how to confront that which threatens you. With COVID, I keep trying to convince you to cast off your conspiracy theories and the politicization of mask wearing, begging you to listen to my Kol Nidre, my voice speaking as clearly as I can through the voices of veritable experts, scientists and medical professionals who have found ways of controlling this COVID killer. But you, collectively, just won't listen. As the prophet Isaiah kept saying, I don't want only your prayers. I want you to act collectively, so you'll all survive. You think you were at your edge, Rabbi, back in January of 2021 when 16 of your people passed away? Your loss is nothing compared to mine. 665,000 American deaths. 4.5 million of my children everywhere around the world are dead because you can't commit to wearing masks or working together to wipe out this disease. Each of those lives were my co-creation. Each life brought into being intentionally, B'Tselem Elohim, for premeditated purpose, to bring benevolence and beauty, equity and endurance to our shared existence. I, God, tear kriya at every funeral. Yeah, I attend them all. My gown of glory is now a shredded smock from all that tearing, testifying to the turmoil that I feel at our joint failure. Where was I, you demand to know? Where were you? I ask in return. When the coronavirus was condemning the first 100,000s around the world to a painful, lonely death, Ayeka, where were you? When the fires and floods and melting glaciers testified to the havoc your scientists long ago warned that you were wreaking in my world, Ayeka, where were you? When others passed laws limiting a woman's right to control their own body, which is embodied in my Torah and in our Jewish texts, when others continually failed to credibly address the constant barrage of bullets in your malls and concert halls, your schools and synagogue, Ayeka, where were you? Did you vociferously condemn those actions and the weak-kneed politicians who put power and profit before people's lives? Or did you hold up your vaunted freedoms, the ones I endowed you with, as an excuse to ignore the destruction of my people, of my world? Where were you when brown and black people, indigenous and impoverished people, essential people like you, who many of you think are not like you, were dying by the tens of thousands because your inequitable healthcare systems don't help them, even though you deem them essential to your economic survival? Ayeka, where were you? You say you don't have faith in me, God asks. Did you ever wonder why I still have faith in you? God damn me. God should damn you, I sometimes want to shout. But I don't, and I won't. Because I am your creator, your confidant, the source of your very lives. And against our agreement not to manifest my might so forthrightly anymore, I always act to try to help you. With the nishmat chayim, the breath of life, I breathed into you in the beginning. I also gave you the resources and research abilities, the values and vision, the intelligence and intentions to beat all of this. So please, please band together and try. Vigorously convince the anti-mask crowd to wear masks, and more compassionately, those who have a well-earned reason not to trust the government, that these vaccines are necessary and safe. Stand up against the white supremacists and demand that they back down. Allow nuance to separate out legitimate critique of Israel, remembering that much of the rest is cover for something else. And then vigorously go after the acerbic anti-Semitism. Speak out against all forms of hatred, not just the ones directed at you. And rise up and reign in your destruction of this world. And then, along the way, hold yourselves up to the high standards you keep trying to foist on me. And do it now, before it's too late. You know, it says right in there, back in the beginning, the earth was tohu vavohu, chaotic. But it doesn't need to be now. You should just remember what's written on your Ora Mi ark doors back at the synagogue. It says, Kedoshim Tihiyu, that each of you is holy, that each of you is interconnected to everyone else, meaning that borders and bravado won't protect you, only brain power and benevolence will. So let's stop damning each other and stop blaming me. My heart is as broken as yours. Instead, spend your time picking up the broken pieces of the tablets that Moses smashed and instill in each other a real responsibility for each other. What do I require of you? The prophet Micah asked and I answered way long ago. Asot mishpat, vehavat chesed, vehatznea lalechet im Elohecha. To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with me, your God. It's Yom Kippur. Choose life. It's Yom Kippur. Be compassionate and just. Have faith. It's Yom Kippur. Open yourself up and feel my blessing. It's all around you. And breathe.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. God bless you and keep you. God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. God's face turn toward you God's favor be upon you for 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, their children, and their children. May God's presence go before you, and behind you, and beside you, all around you, and within you. God is with you, God is with you, in the morning, in the evening, in your coming, and your going, in your weeping, and rejoicing. God is for you, 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 God is for you.
We read, pray together, page 9899, 98 at the bottom. We confess our moral failures for the sin which we have committed by spurning parents and teachers, fearful that acceptance of their guidance and authority implies a lessening of our own worth, for the sin which we have committed by wronging our neighbors, as tools to be used or strangers to be ignored rather than as fellow creatures, for the sin which we have committed by envy, minimizing our own blessings while exaggerating the good fortune of others, for the sin which we have committed by hardening our hearts, fearful of showing compassion lest others think of us as weaklings, for the sin which we have committed by denying and lying, because we did not have the fortitude to acknowledge the truth, for the sin which we have committed by bribery, trying to get special favors for ourselves or our children, regardless of the law or of the common good, for the sin which we have committed by slander and talebearing, building up our own importance by belittling others and showing off. Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot, slach lanu, machal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these sins, whether committed inadvertently or with intent, may we seek forgiveness and may we be forgiven.
Selichot, selach lanu,
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our plea. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lifanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, Ve'al Olalenu V'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, have mercy upon us and our children. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Dever Ve'cherev Ve'ra'av Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, help us to diminish pestilence, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Kol Tsar Umastain Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, inspire us to cause all hate and oppression to vanish from the earth. Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu Besefer Chayim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, enter us into the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew our faith in the future, that we may make the coming year truly a Shana Tova, a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Ve'anenu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, Ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us, for we are not perfect. Deal with us in both justice and mercy, so we may be renewed.
Please be seated. Hold on to this moment. It is special and tomorrow as we are with our cantor, Doug Kotler, in his last services here with us as our cantor. If you have found tonight's services meaningful, or Rosh Hashanah also, do yourself and our Jewish world a mitzvah. Please consider becoming part of Congregation Or Ami. Synagogues and the Jewish community can only sustain ourselves with the support of, well, the community. Congregation Or Ami is a sanctuary of kindness, a safe Jewish community for today. It could be your second home. We are there when you don't think you need us, and we are here for you when you come to realize that you actually do need us. And if you live a distance away, 60 miles or more from the synagogue, would you consider becoming a distanced member of Congregation Or Ami? For a special discounted rate, we will be your second home. You will be invited to special gatherings with the community online, with the clergy online, and you will receive 3 holiday essential bags for Pesach, for Hanukkah, Purim, and Passover. And you will know that we are truly here for you when you need us or just want us. Our first distance partners gathering will be online in November. So contact our office staff or send me an email and I'll put you in touch with them. Now soon, you'll also find out about Mitzvah Day in November, when we will make 500 comfort bags for children going into the foster care system. We're a little behind because getting these high holidays together have been intense. But when we're ready, we have to collect 10,000 items and then together put them together. And with your help, we will. Now, our upcoming class on your spiritual legacy, finding your way to a good death, that's something you just don't want to wait to deal with until you're almost, well, dead. Let's talk about it now. I'm bringing in a colleague who's really great at dealing with these issues. Come. And I remind you to bring your donations of cans of food to the Sova Food Pantry, to Or Ami. Bring them on Saturday or Sunday, April 18th or 19th. Let's feed those in need. And remember, at Or Ami, we kvel, not fetch. We praise, not complain. With just a few months to transform something into these intricate, inspiring in-person and live stream services, our production team and medical team and our clergy found ways to make the necessary changes. We got the best musicians. Well, most all of them have been with us, but they have lifted us up. So listen, if you want a kvel, send it along soon, tonight. Blow up my phone, with text and pictures and stuff. And if you have a kvetch, a complaint, let's just hold it for at least 3 days. We were all feeling the mix of missing each other in this Thousand Oaks High Holiday Sanctuary, and the sadness that we had to change so much to get here. But if after 3 days your kvetch is absolutely necessary, then send it along like an Oreo cookie, sandwiched between 2 sweet kvels. And finally, after the benediction and closing song, stay tuned for the credits so you'll know who to thank.
And as we prepare to say Kaddish, we remind you that each year for our Yisker Memorial Service, we invite participants to write the names and memories of loved ones on a scroll that will be placed in the Holy Ark. This year, we placed the scrolls in Or Ami Partners High Holy Day bags to mail in or to bring to Yisker on Yom Kippur morning. You may complete an online form at orami.org/HHD. We also have scrolls in the lobby as you leave. All these scrolls will be compiled into a beautiful memorial book. And now, before we praise the source of life for the blessing of having shared life with our loved ones, and as we remember all those who are no longer with us, those who died in this year, this season, and in years past, we invite you to say aloud their names and their relationship to you. This evening, we remember. we rise in body or in spirit. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam ulalmei omaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei de kudasha, b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da miran be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen.
Amen. Now, if you're comfortable, hold your loved ones or those in your pod close to you. And if they're not with you, know that we are holding you each here and here. When for a moment or many moments, the science and the desire and the holiness and the Holy One conspired together to bring you into this world, something wonderful was intended. And the poet and psalmist Alden Solovey reminds us we were each summoned to this world on purpose.
May you each come to realize, to truly know, that something you do will resonate throughout eternity, and that is why you are here, to touch time with your soul, to create ripples in the flow of your days. You were summoned to the world by God's will. Holiness aspires, the work of your hands. The divine requires the prayers of your heart.
So go forth and create beauty.
Spread love.
Embody kindness.
Do justice.
Pursue peace.
Always knowing that the moment of your life summoned by eternity, the moment of your life without which the universe could not stand, is a secret in heaven and on earth.
And may you be blessed.
Adonai oz le'amo yiten. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
May God give strength unto our people. May God bless all people everywhere with peace. Amen.
Amen.
Together